We open on a text chain between a group of people. The texters decry the state of the nation and the presidency. The texters then discuss their excitement at the idea of hunting deplorables. We cut to a private plane where obscenely wealthy individuals are enjoying caviar and champagne. They talk in awed tones about the trip they are going on arranged by their benefactor, Athena. Suddenly, a drugged man bursts into the cabin in a state of distress. The passengers struggle with him and eventually, the doctor stabs him in the neck. The man stumbles back out of the cabin to another part of the plane where he dies. We see several other drugged bodies on the floor of the plane. We jump ahead to see a woman awaken in a field with a gag locked onto her mouth. She stumbles around and sees another woman, Crystal, also gagged. Crystal ignores the woman and uses a pin from a name tag on her shirt to pick the lock on her gag and make a compass before running off. The woman wanders into a field where she finds other gagged individuals standing around a giant crate. The woman finds some keys in a nearby trapdoor and the individuals unlock and remove their gags. None of them know each other or how they got there. One of the men finally opens the crate and finds a pig and a cache of weapons inside. They begin arming themselves when suddenly, people begin shooting at them. The woman is one of the first to die. Another woman falls into a pit trap and is impaled by a spike. She is rescued by one of the men but they are then blown up after stepping on a landmine. The rest of the group scatters. We follow 4 of the escapees. They come to a fence and begin climbing over it to the main road. One of them is killed via bow and arrow while trying to escape. The remaining 3 stumble to a gas station run by an elderly couple. The escapees learn they are in Arkansas. One of the escapees who had been munching on some donuts suddenly begins convulsing, having been poisoned by the food. Suddenly, the elderly couple dons gas masks and tosses a smoke grenade. The elderly couple then shoots another escapee and uses gas bombs to kill the third. The woman vents the gas station, and they clean up, disposing of the bodies. The elderly couple then radio some compatriots, reporting their kills to the woman on the other end, who tells them another one of the hunted is headed their way. Soon, Crystal walks into the gas station. She asks for a pack of cigarettes, grabs her emergency money, and inquires what state she's in. The elderly couple tells her as she gets her change and then tries to pull the same ruse on her that they did on the other escapees, but Crystal realizes they are hunters and attacks them. She grabs a shotgun from under the counter and kills the man first, then the woman. She then checks the gas station, finding the bodies. She takes some rubber bands and ammo, drops her jacket, and leaves. Outside, she finds a truck and inspects it. First, she sees that the plates are fake and discovers that she is not in Arkansas, but in a foreign country. Then she finds a tripwire connecting the door to a bomb. She overhears voices on the radio she took and hides in the bushes. They're looking for her because they've lost contact with the elderly couple from the gas station. They send a drone to investigate, and someone shoots it down. The man who shot the drone, Gary, appears, smashing it further. As he approaches the truck, Crystal warns him that it's rigged. She tells him that by shooting the drone, he essentially alerted them to their location. Then she heads toward some train tracks she spotted earlier, and Gary follows her. He shares his theory about why they're being hunted, mentioning an article he read about a group of liberal elites who kidnap people and bring them to a manor to hunt them. Crystal is skeptical of his theory. As they hear a train approaching, Crystal tells him to run so they can catch it. They jump aboard and meet a group of refugees thereon. Gary accuses the refugees of being crisis actors, pretending to be refugees. Crystal remains unconvinced. Before Gary can shoot them, the train suddenly stops, and the military police board searches the compartments. Crystal, Gary, and the refugees surrender. As the police frisk them, Gary tries to explain that they are Americans and that the refugees are just crisis actors. The police don't understand English and step aside when one of the refugees speaks to the man in fluent English with an American accent. He tells Gary that he's the only actor and that he needs to calm down, saying no one believes him. Gary loses it and tackles the refugee, shoving a grenade into his pants as everyone else dives for cover. The man blows up and Gary escapes in the ensuing panic. Crystal is next seen in a truck being transported to a refugee camp. Once there, she is taken to an officer who asks her for identification papers. She asks where she is, and when they don't respond, she starts guessing until she finally lands on the correct answer: Croatia. She then requests that they contact the American embassy. Instead, they bring in Don, another survivor of the hunt. The two head to the camp's kitchen to eat, with Don reiterating the same theories that Gary had shared earlier. Suddenly, an official from the American embassy arrives to pick them up. Later, they are seen driving through the woods with him. Don has already filled him in on their predicament, and the official, shocked, assures them he'll contact the State Department and the military to track down the hunters. Crystal senses something off about the official, so she knocks him out and pushes him out of the car, then backs over him, killing the man. She finds a gun in his jacket and proceeds to search the trunk while Don panics about her killing the official. But when he sees the body of Gary in the trunk, already dead, he begins to understand. She finds a map, and Don theorizes that they are the only 2 survivors left. Don wants to flee in the car, but Crystal refuses. She's determined to use the map to find and retaliate against those who hunted them. She then tells him a gruesome story her mother used to tell her when, out of nowhere, the pig reappears. At the bunker, the group of hunters are engaged in a discussion about what's politically correct. One of them, a soldier serving as their consultant, asks for silence, but they mock him instead. Athena's voice comes over the radio, commanding them to be quiet. One of the hunters steps outside to relieve himself, and Don distracts him with the pig while Crystal kills him. Back at the bunker, the group hears a noise outside. The soldier provides instructions on how to proceed, but they barely follow his lead, all too scared. When Don tosses the pig inside, they panic and shoot it dead. One of the hunters is upset about killing the pig, but Crystal suddenly kills one of the men and starts shooting at the others. She incapacitates the soldier and then stabs the woman. A fight ensues between Crystal and another man for control of a rifle, and he removes the ammo. However, she finds another bullet in the chamber and shoots him. She then kills the sniper as well, thinking she's taken out everyone. But the soldier tackles her, and they engage in a brutal fight. Crystal rips a pipe from the ceiling and beats him with it, but doesn't finish him off. The woman is still alive and insults Crystal, calling her a hick. Crystal picks up a gun and prepares to shoot her when Don appears. He finds a gun and Crystal instructs him to ask the woman why they were hunted. The woman gives a nonsensical answer and Crystal prepares to kill her, but Don tries to stop her, arguing that she should be spared because she's a woman. Crystal asks the woman if she deserves mercy just because of her gender, and when the woman says no, Crystal shoots her. Don freaks out, and suddenly Athena's voice comes over the radio asking if Don has taken care of Crystal. Crystal aims her gun at Don, who pleads that he isn't one of them. Athena continues to inquire over the radio, urging Don to kill Crystal, but she shoots him instead. Crystal then tells Athena that Don is dead, and Athena challenges her to come and get her. Crystal sits beside the soldier, engaging in a calm conversation until she asks where Athena is. She makes it clear she won't give up, applying pressure to his wound until he reveals Athena's location. He warns her that Athena has been preparing for the hunt for months. After getting the information, Crystal kills him too. A flashback to a year earlier shows Athena in her office with two company representatives discussing a text message she sent about the hunt. She claims it was a joke, but they warn her that people believe it's real, calling it a potential PR nightmare. They insist she step down from her position, and Athena demands a list of those spreading the conspiracy theory that she hunts human beings. Another flashback, this time to 8 months before the hunt, shows the group selecting their victims. They struggle to make decisions, but Athena urges them to continue. Suddenly, a slide of Crystal appears, with the presenter reading her critical opinions about Athena. Enraged, Athena chooses Crystal as her arch-nemesis. In the present, Crystal approaches a manor. Athena speaks to her over the intercom, warning her to leave her gun at the gate or risk activating the C4. Crystal complies and enters the house. Beethoven plays in the background as she cautiously walks through, spotting photos of herself and the others on Athena's wall. Athena waits for her in the kitchen, cooking. She inquires if Crystal killed Don but doesn't reveal if he was one of the hunters. Crystal admits she doesn't know who Athena is, and it becomes apparent that Athena doesn't know Crystal either. They discuss the reasons behind the hunt, and Crystal says that they got the wrong person and that they confused her with another woman who has a similar name to hers. Athena doesn't believe her though. After that, Crystal grabs a knife and attacks Athena. They engage in a fierce battle, both proving to be equally strong and relentless. Crystal hurls everything she can find at Athena, including an obscenely expensive bottle of champagne, which Athena saves from shattering. The fight continues, with Athena managing to get a shotgun and pursuing Crystal upstairs. They wrestle for control of the gun until Crystal pushes Athena down the stairs and leaps after her. Athena reaches for a knife and stabs Crystal. Their fight spills back into the kitchen. Ultimately, Athena stabs Crystal with a blender blade, but Crystal can grab Athena and stab her with the other end of the blade. Afterward, the women collapse as they begin bleeding to death. Athena asks Crystal to tell her the truth about her identity, and Crystal repeats that she is not the person who mocks Athena online. Moments later, Athena dies. As Crystal is also about to die, she sees a hare enter the house. Remembering her mother's words that the hare always wins, she gets back up and treats her wounds with a blowtorch. Crystal then puts on one of Athena's dresses, grabs the obscenely expensive bottle of champagne, and walks toward Athena's private plane. Once aboard, she intimidates the pilot into taking her home. Then she and the flight attendant begin to eat caviar and drink the champagne as the movie concludes. With that, the movie ends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.